Tennessee became the first state in the country to restrict drag show performances. The bill signed yesterday limits performances on public property considered harmful to minors to shield children from seeing the performances. Violators could be charged with a misdemeanor and repeat offenders a felony. In addition to the drag law, the governor banned gender-affirming medical care for minors even if the child's parent approves. Story Van Ness is a drag performer, and she's the assistant director for Knox Pride and the program director for Trans Non-Binary Support Services. Story, thank you for your time. So this legislation, and I'm talking about the drag bill first, the sponsor says that it's not targeting drag performers, it's not banning public drag performances. Instead, and I wrote this down, making sure that children are not present at sexually explicit performances. Sexually explicit has a legal definition from the Department of Justice. But do you interpret this as banning public drag performances?
Absolutely, and thank you for having me, Victor. But absolutely, this is just another bill in a long line of bills that are, just this assault on the queer community here in Tennessee. But this bill absolutely is intended to criminalize drag in public spaces. This is not about children.
Yeah. Some people may know about drag brunches, people going out to them, maybe bringing their friends and family. How will this law change the drag community in Tennessee?
So the thing about drag, it typically is held at an adult venue, at a nightclub or a bar. So
Yeah.
typically, those shows may have adult content, but nothing crossing the line into sexual. We have laws in place already that prevent that sort of from it going into that sexual realm. What this is going to do is it's going to take going to take money out of the pockets of drag performers, many of whom this is their only job, this is their only source of income. It's stigmatizing queer art and queer culture, which is the purpose, but it's all because they want people to think sexual. They want people to think that queer people are nothing but sexual. And that's their hang up.
Which is interesting because one of the things that, and I read the law, that I have a question about the interpretation of the word performance, because the law groups what they call male and female impersonators with topless dancers, go-go dancers, exotic dancers, and strippers. Now, all of the rest of those are actions and designed to be erotic. Drag very often, usually, is not. But to characterize drag, just being in drag as a performance, does simply appearing in public in drag then count as a performance? I mean, do you see what I'm asking here? What's your interpretation?
I do, and we do have many drag performers have that concern. But even past that, I'm a trans person. Depending on who is reading that law, they may determine that I am a female impersonator. I have trans. Part of my job is working with trans people, and I'm answering these emails with all this anxiety of, I am a dancer, I'm a dance instructor. Does what I do count? Am I going to be arrested for, dancing in public because because I'm seen as a female impersonator? But if I've got my AirPods in, like I frequently do, and I'm just jamming out as I'm going through, the grocery store, does that count as a performance? So it's just,
yeah.
Trans people are terrified. We're scared that not only is this going to limit our access to art, but also to life. And I think that's the point. They're trying to legislate us out of existence. They're trying to make it so we can't leave our homes.
Well, let me ask you this. As the governor, Governor Lee there, was preparing to sign this bill, someone asked him about a photo from his yearbook in 1977. This is Governor Bill Lee. He's the one in the pearls. He calls this lighthearted. He is there at some high school event. His office elaborated in a statement to the Daily Beast saying the bill specifically protects children from obscene, sexualized entertainment, and any attempt to conflate this serious issue with lighthearted school tradition is dishonest and disrespectful to Tennessee families. Your thoughts?
I would argue that conflating drag with prurient interest is ridiculous. I don't know when the last. Well, I mean, obviously, Governor Lee's been to some sort of drag event, but I don't know the last time he's been to a drag show and seen what a drag show really is. What they're doing is they're just taking these examples that they're finding, and they're blowing everything out of proportion. It's just another attack, but it's also a distraction. Like, all of this is distracting from all these other really important things that the Tennessee legislator and Governor Lee honestly should be paying attention to. But instead, we're worried about drag queens.
Yeah, also that other bill, the gender affirming health care for trans kids, no hormone therapy, no surgeries, no puberty blockers. And we know from a study published in the National Institutes of Health, 82% of trans individuals have considered suicide, 40% have attempted it, and the rates are highest among trans youth. Story Van Ness, thank you so much for your time.
Oh, thank you.